Hello. Yes, sir.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. On behalf of JBM Global School, I, Krish Mehta,
And I, Riya Srivastav.
welcome you all, the parents and students, to today's webinar, our interactive session on exam skills in the digital era. Yes, the digital era, the COVID crisis, a time where we are all stuck at home. This indeed is the most relevant topic of discussion. Dear parents and students, with the COVID-19 pandemic around 9 months old now, it is officially set to range from interrupting the 2020 home and board examinations all the way to the 2021 examinations.
Now, with social distancing being the new norm and online test series as the only judge for their preparation, this year's home and board examinations would be an unsaid conquest between time, knowledge, and every student's instincts. We must mentor our students on how to have a great study space, all the while taking care of their health and seeking emotional support when needed so as to efficiently prepare for the examinations.
Dear parents, it gives us immense pleasure to announce that the clinical psychologist heading the school mental health program from Fortis Health Care, Miss Anuna Bordoloi, is already online with us. We welcome you, ma'am.
Yes, hello. Thank you so much. Thank you, Ria and Krish, for the lovely introduction. And yeah, I'm happy to be here. Yes. So let me know what to start.
Yeah, sure, ma'am. It's a matter of great pride that Miss Anuna Bordoloi has accepted our invitation to be here with us in spite of a busy schedule.
Ma'am, you are a licensed clinical psychologist registered under the Rehabilitation Council of India. You have been working in the mental health field since 2012. Ma'am, you are currently working as a consultant clinical psychologist in the Department of Mental Health and Behavioral Sciences at Fortis Health Care. You are a skilled professional in the areas of child and adult psychotherapy and other mental health issues like rehabilitation, de addiction, relationship problems, and psychological assessments. Apart from your clinical contributions, you have keen interest in conducting workshops and seminars on mental health and creating awareness in the society. Ma'am, we are honored to have you with us today.
Thank you, Ria. Once again, I would like to thank you, ma'am. We hope all of us are able to seek guidance and imbibe knowledge from your words. Thank you, ma'am.
Ladies and gentlemen, the scenario of this year has been different. This batch of home and board exam takers will create a history for completing the syllabus online for the academic session 2020-21. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, without even attending a single class in the school, in the physical presence of a teacher.
I hope you understand the reason for our nervousness before sitting in these examinations. When we are just 2 months away from our final examinations, the so-called and much hyped about board examinations. So my dear friends, in today's webinar, we will discuss and understand certain points like study skills to adapt to digital learning, some effective revision routines and concentration exercises,
Along with it, techniques to unplug and detox oneself, tips for stress busting during examinations, and last but not the least, ways to balance life in digital times.
Before I invite our esteemed guests to begin the session, I would like to remind you all that this is an interactive session. Ma'am would be delighted to answer all your questions. So feel free to note down the questions, whatever comes to your mind related to the topic. Now, may I request ma'am to address the audience, please?
Sure. Thank you so much. First, I would like to apologize for the background people are seeing. Because of my immobility, I'm taking this webinar from my bed due to some injury. So I would apologize for that. But nevertheless, I can speak. So I hope that there will be no problem whatsoever. So yes, a very good morning to all of those who are present here. I'm very honored to be here, and I love the opportunities whenever I get to interact with students. That gives me a fresh perspective. So yeah. So thank you so much, and maybe we can begin. So I would like to ask the backstage to add the other screen, please, so that I can share my PPT. Yes, thank you so much. Yes, so I hope my PPT is visible.
Yes, ma'am, it's visible.
Okay, thank you. So, yes, so we are going to talk about study and exam skills. But I think, more important than that, as Krish and Priya both have shared, that how difficult it has been for students, because maybe as students or as parents, we might have thought at some point of time that छुट्टी और ज़्यादा होनी चाहिए थी, or we would feel that okay, maybe it would have been better if if school was not there today. But none of us has thought that we would be sitting a whole year at home and we would be doing these online things. And if you ask students, then they did not need to know about these digital things. They did not need to know about StreamYard. They did not need to know about Zoom and all the other apps. But now that proficiency is also needed, right? So there has been tremendous change, and most of us, we have been adjusting, and we have to adjust because these are difficult times. We have to adapt to these situations. But we thought that if we can do something to help them adjust to this situation better, to help with the digital learning better, so we have come up with this series of webinars where we are talking to the students about these study skills, and during the exam what are the skills that is necessary in this digital era, right? Okay, so let's begin. Yes, we have already talked about the unprecedented year of 2020. So now, certain challenges. Well, I always address, whenever I address, challenges during COVID times, I always talk about the opportunities also, which it has brought us. So first of all, me having some injuries, sitting at home and being able to talk to all of you, it in itself is such a miracle, isn't it? Otherwise, I would have been present in the school, everybody would have had to come. So now that boundary, like I can sit here and I can maybe talk to somebody in Assam or in Kerala, right? So this is something which this pandemic has brought. So that is one brighter side. But there are a lot of challenges which it has brought. Like for students, there is a very long break. Like I said, none of us, we have thought that we would we would have to be you know we would have to have such a long gap from school. So we are not able to see our friends in person. Maybe few of your classes have started, or I do not know, maybe few of you have been able to be coming to school. but it's not the same, isn't it? It's not that school where we meet our friends, we meet everybody, we meet our juniors. It is not like that. And in-person interaction has also reduced significantly. Then the second thing is that we are so used to reading from a book. We are so used to attending, sitting in a classroom, and then the teacher is talking in front of us and we are listening to them. So at times focusing online, like somebody is speaking, a device is speaking, I can see my ma'am through this window. Sometimes that can be difficult because we are not used to it. Our brain is conditioned to the other way, right? So that's how it can be difficult at times. Uh, and the next thing, it can be, because we are so used to, getting up at a particular point of time and then going to our, our school and then coming back and then maybe going to tuition or some, classes, some coaching. So we are so used to that routine. This routine might be a little difficult for many of us. Maybe we have more time, but we do not know how to utilize it. So managing the daily schedule has also can become a challenge. And without a doubt, as we are doing everything in presence of a screen, so there's an increased amount of screen time, and we have been focusing. We have been having difficulty in focusing and motivation. Okay, so let's compare exam how it used to be and how it is right now, right? So how it used to be was that I hope it is still there. It was there in our times that we go to exam and then we look for the seating arrangement. That we wish that okay, am I sitting with my best friend? Okay, am I sitting with the topper of the class? Isn't it? So these all things matter, right? So there were seating arrangement. Now what do we do? Now we need to find the study space at home, which where we get less disturbed and where is a maybe good internet connection. And then previously these used to be pen and paper exams. Now of course it is internet and computer based. At some schools might have have a pencil test, but that also needs to be uploaded, isn't it? Then previously there used to be physical invigilations, but now it is completely online, right? So your teacher is monitoring through the webcam and all those things. Then previously no technical knowledge was required. We did not need to know Zoom, like I said, we did not need to know StreamYard. None of this was required. I'm a student. I go to school. I attend my classes, but this proficiency was not needed, which is needed now. I need to know how to unmute, mute, because I was looking at Ria and Krish. They were so so beautifully they were adjusting. One switches on the mic, the other one switches off. So it happens quite naturally, isn't it? So this much of proficiency was not needed before, which is needed now. Next, yes. So what we are going to learn today is that you must have heard, maybe your parents, your relatives, your so many other people might be saying that you need to study hard, you need to work hard. Of course, you need to study hard, but we are also trying to tell you how to study smart, right? Okay. So when we talk about studying smart, the first thing comes is time management, which a lot of students have difficulty, right? So right now, when we say that we have a lot of time, we have a lot of time to uh, do a lot of things, and how it should be right now. Our routine should have we should have time for friends, we should have time for online classes, we should have time to help my mom or my father at the kitchen. Then we should have time for homework, and we should have time for adequate sleep, adequate for our hobbies, and then adequate time for exercises, then family and friends and everything. So we should have, our routine should be including all of this, right? But this is should be. How it really is we have online classes, then we have social media, Right after my class, I have to open my WhatsApp, I have to open my, all the other things, Facebook, vagara, vagara, all those I have. And then we we should be able to sleeping better, but we are not, because because of, again, excessive use of social media and these digital platforms plus limited movement. So we are, we have a lack of sleep, and this is what it is. Our life is, between all these four things, right? Now, if we need to change, if we need to go back to that previous slide which I have shown, that how it should include friends, how it should include movement, some exercises, adequate sleep, appetite, hobbies, so many things. What do we need to do? One thing we need to do is to learn prioritizing. How do I prioritize? Prioritizing means what? That I need to know what is important, what do I need to address first, right? So if you see this table, you will see that you have, you can divide this. If you see this table, you will see that one thing, number one, what is it? Which is important plus which is due soon. Now, something which is important and due soon, let me give you some examples. Let's say you have a test tomorrow, you have a project which you have been working on, you have your Netflix series, you have, let's say, you have to attend your friend's birthday, right? Now, number one, what will be the number one thing? Now, this is, this can be difficult for communication. The number one, you might get puzzled whether that project is important or the test is important. But we need to see which one is coming first. The test is tomorrow, but the other thing, the project, I have time for that. So important and due soon. That means I will have to address that first. Second thing would be, yes, important but not due soon. I will address that. Something is due soon but not important. Let's say, some one of your friend's birthday, which is not, maybe not that important. Of course, friendships are important, but maybe going to that birthday party may not be that important, but birthday is tomorrow. So I have to go there, or I have to, wish him digitally, something of that sort. So that will come on third, because it is not that important. And then watching the series or watching a film or anything, all the other things you can put in four. If you are able to do this, if you are so if you make it habituated, then you will be able to do it faster, right? And then you will be able to manage your time much better. Okay, so next we talk about activity scheduling. Now, when we talk about activity scheduling, it is more or less like making a routine. You all are very good at making routines, but how many of you are able to stick to the routine, right? So what happens is that if we talk about one activity, let's say I ask you that how much time do you take? Okay, Krish, you tell me, how much time do you take to have breakfast?
Mom, 15 to 20 minutes.
15 to 20 minutes. Okay, well, fair enough. Ria, you tell me, how much time?
Ma'am, 10-15 minutes.
10, 15 minutes. Okay, all right. Fine. So, how much time, you both will tell me, how much time do you take to take bath?
Mom, same 15, 10 to
10,
15
15
minutes.
minutes. Okay, Ria?
Takes me 20 minutes around.
Around. Now, when you see this table, the activity one is breakfast, the other one is taking bath, right? The expected time is 15 minutes. Now, whenever you are going to get take shower tomorrow, take your breakfast tomorrow, you see whether you exactly take 20 minutes or 15 minutes, or you take more than that. What happens mostly is that we do not, while going to take bath, what do we calculate? The time inside the bathroom. But no, it will start from switching on the geyser, getting your towel, getting everything that you need. So that altogether takes more time than we expect, isn't it? So this is something which we need to know to get the real time so that we can plan our routine accordingly. And this is the main reason why we think that we do not know where the time went, right? So this is something, if we can get the exact time, then we will be able to plan our day better. And how we can plan the day is this. Like, we need to keep it from hour to hour. It's not that, 5 to 6, I was not doing anything, so I did not even include that in the routine. No. It should be including, but you can, take that as recess time or, maybe my rest time, anything. But the routine should be like this, that, I'll be doing this to this from this time. Be a little bit flexible. Do not be very harsh on you. Otherwise, it will be very difficult for you to stick to it. So keep a little flexibility, but you should be planning it this way, right? Okay. Okay. So now we will talk about, as we all are doing studying from home, so what is the right environment how we can study. So yes, the first thing is to maintain a study corner, right? And why am I telling you this is because we are so used to studying at one particular way, like we go to the classroom, there we do not get that much distracted, right? So if we choose one particular corner, our brain gets, conditioned that way, so that it tells you that when you come to this corner, that means it is your study time. So if you fix it that way, it will not get confused. If you study, if you eat, if you sleep on the same bed, your brain gets confused. I don't know what is happening, whether I'm supposed to be sleeping right now, or I'm supposed to be studying right now, or I'm supposed to be eating right now. So you should have a fixed study corner. And of course, do not study on the bed. Declutter your study corner, because if you have lot many things when in your study table, it will create more distraction. So try to declutter as much as possible. Just keep the only bare minimum necessary things, like your the particular subject which you're trying to study, maybe a clock if only needed. If not at all needed, then you do not need it. And your pen and paper and everything. So try to declutter it, and of course try avoiding a room where there is TV and music, which constantly goes on, because it might be your study time but somebody else's relaxation time, right? And I understand that as maybe most of your parents are also working from home, so it can be very difficult to have a complete room to yourself. That is okay. You just have a corner. That's why we have called it, rather than saying that you have a room, you have one corner which you organize according to what are the things that you need, right? And keeping all the gadgets away while studying. If you need the computer, keep the phone away. If you need the phone, then keep the phone and keep the computer away. But mostly, we prefer that you do it on computer, so that it is less distracting, right? Okay. Now, the question is, how long should we study at a stretch? Many of you might say that, it is 2 hours, it is as long as we can, or it is 45 minutes. But we say it is 45 minutes, that at a stretch, your brain can concentrate. After 45 minutes, take a short break. And in that short break, now as we are, doing these classes digitally, in that short break, do not look at your phone. Do not check that if I have got some messages on Instagram, right? Keep your eyes away from the, from the screen. Look at some greenery, or maybe talk to your mom at the kitchen, maybe talk to your father, if he's free, or maybe anybody, any family member. Just, or you can just do some stretching. That is also fine, right? Okay. Now, yes, most of us, what we do is that we juggle between lessons, which is something, it would be good if we can avoid it, because if we juggle between a lot of subjects, we will not be able to keep our focus on one topic, and we will be not able to retain that information better. So try to have maybe one or two subjects in a day when you are preparing for the examination. And yes, highlighting important words can help. Chunking, like taking bigger sections to smaller sections, picking up only the important information from a whole paragraph would help. Using mnemonics, like any memory tool, flow chart, graphics, we all do, right? If this is the concept, whatever I have understood from that concept, if you can draw it, that used to help me a lot. But all our learning styles are different. Somebody is a auditory learner, somebody is a visual learner, somebody learns better when they do it. So you need to find out what is your style, and accordingly you will be using all these tools which are available, right? Okay. Now, how do we need to revise? People would say that once or twice or thrice or how many ever times you can. But if you want to do it in an organized way, this is the way you need to do it. You read it once. After that, you revise it the second day, 7th day, 15th day, and 30th day. So 1, 2, 7, 15, and 30. This is what you need to remember. Now, many of you might be thinking that if we revise so many times, then when will we study? You study only once or twice till the time that you have understood the concept. After that, you just read your notes, you just need to read your highlights, right? That will actually reduce a lot of time and you will be able to save up a lot of time, right? Okay. Then self-test. As you are not, going to school regularly, maybe meeting the teacher would be a little difficult. So you can take your self-test. In that way, a lot of times we feel that, we are being unfairly marked, or we are, we studied so much. Why didn't we get so much, marks? You will be able to see the mistakes that you are doing, and it will give you a proper, a proper setup where you would feel comfortable that okay, when I sit in this corner and when I keep my stopwatch on, this is the time when I am when I'm supposed to give my exams. Because we are not used to give exams in this way, at times it can be difficult. So this kind of self-test weekly would be helpful. And once you're done with the test, once you have done honestly without any cheating, so you can give yourself some reward. A reward can be like as small as a toffee or a pat in the back. It can be anything, but it would be good to boost your motivation, right? Yeah, this is for self evaluation after the test. Now let's talk about certain points how we can improve our concentration. So there are so many ways. Let's say if any of you, I think most of you are fond of music, you can choose any instrumental music and try to focus on one particular instrument from that whole music. Now there would be let's say there would be a guitar, there would be piano, there would be let's say flute. There would be so many other instruments. So if you would just choose one, that today I'm going to focus on the flute, like how many times the flute instrument was there, I'm going to focus on that. This is one very good improving concentration exercise. Using mandala coloring, any sort of coloring which requires your attention, because if you have seen mandala, which I have shown it here as well, it has very fine lines, so you cannot just go outside the line, right? So it would need your concentration. If we do this exercise on regular basis, it would help you to have better concentration. Now using puzzles and mazes always helps for better concentration. Also, one thing you can do is that you have old newspapers, or choose one article from there and choose one letter. Like let's say here we have shown the letter E. Choose E and cut. Every time a E comes, you will cancel it. So this is known as cancellation exercise, which is also very well known for improving your concentration. And any other games like Sudoku, crossword, chess, these are known as better for developing your concentration. Okay, now coming to exams, what we need to do, when we are during the exam, after the exam, before the exam. Let's see. Okay. Before the exam, prepare a comfortable space where there is good internet connectivity, so that you will not be, running around searching for the internet, and which is less distracted. The people do not, constantly keep on coming to the room and, maybe breaking the flow. So where there is no such, no too much of distraction, like, there is no TV, there is no radio or any such things. So prepare a comfortable area where, you can give the examination. And before the exam, most of us, we call our friend and we ask, ki tera kitna hua hai, mera kitna hua hai, right? So stop doing that. You both have prepared differently. You both are maybe, better at different things. So not necessarily it means that if he is, he has prepared one concept which you have not, that means that concept is only going to happen. No. I know you feel that has happened to me, ma'am, many times. But this is the selective bias. You do not see that what were the questions that you selected that actually came in the exam, but you only remember that, that one concept which I did not prepare, that came in the exam, right? So try to see that, how we can prepare better, but without comparing ourselves to others. Then revising thoroughly, but you do not have to read the concept over again. Like one night before the exam, you will not be able to finish the whole book. So go through whatever notes you have made. That is going to save you a lot of time, and that is going to make you make you a lot less anxious. Then during the exam, try logging in at least 15 minutes before, right? Because you do not know. These are technical things. Anything can go wrong, right? Because when we start to school, we target at least, reaching there half an hour before or 15 minutes before, something of that sort. Why? Because we do not know there can be, some traffic in the road, right? So the same way, we do not know these are electronic platforms. Anything can go wrong. So that you will not have to, have that hassle of, doing some last minute adjustments. Try logging in 15 minutes before, check the network connectivity, settle down, compose yourself, remain calm. Even if you are facing a technical glitch, when you are calm, you are, you tend to, your decision making becomes much more better in other, rather than a heightened arousal state. So when you are calm, you will be able to solve that problem better. So keep your calm. And if you're not calm, then try some relaxation technique. Like deep breathing is a very, good relaxation technique. We will work instantly. Like you can take a deep breath in and then count your breaths that, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Slowly you breathe out, right? And while attempting the questions, attempt the easier questions first so that you do not get anxious and you do not have any head block, and you can just, attempt all of it without being anxious. Now, after the exam, what are we supposed to do? What do we generally do is that getting out of the hall and then discussing about the exam, right? So do not do that. Try avoiding discussing about the exam immediately after exam. Do not worry that what you have missed or what I could have written it better. This will always happen. Even in your life, you could be able to do something better. Fine, you will do it in the next one, right? Try, if you have faced any technical glitch, try to reach out to your teacher so that she is aware that, last time he faced this thing, so that if there is something happens in future, at least she is in a loop. Then go home, take rest, have snack, spend time with your family, relax, And then when you feel comfortable, start studying for the next one. Do not just go home and immediately start preparing for the next one. Okay, now adapting to digital lifestyle. Uh, this is very, very important for us to remember that however comfortable it might be, it is very, very important to remember to take a break and unplug. And that break should not be on Netflix or again on social media, but completely digital detoxification. Now, walking or maybe maintaining social distancing, walking or jogging is allowed. So you can go for a regular walk. You can add regular breaks in your day. Then you can develop some new hobbies. You have enough time, so this is the time to find out what you really like and what are the other things. We cannot be just studying the whole day or just spending time on social media, although we are doing that, but this is not long term. This is going to harm us tremendously in the long term. So it is very, very important that you understand that right now. So try to inculcate some hobbies. You can do some plantation. You can, if you like some animals, well, it may not be possible for everyone to get an animal, but if you have one, then maybe spend some time with him, completely, unplugging. Then if you like singing, like dancing, do anything. Spending time with family, playing games with them. These things can, help you unplug. And like I said, digital detoxicating is very, very important. And how do we do that? Leave the study space after each class. Maybe during that time, you can just stretch, move around so that your body is re-energized, and you can practice some breathing exercises using of these gadgets. You need to know that for how much time I will allow myself to use this gadget, because we are doing it so often. Many of the students, they have the increase in the screen time has increased tremendously. So you need to be responsible. You need to know that, okay, I have set half an hour for or 1 hour for the other things that I do, like social media, like maybe Netflix, all this together, I will give myself 1 hour, because anyway, I'm spending so much time online, right? And try to stay connected with your family, because that is again very, very important. You know that all those people above 60, they are the one who has suffered the most, because they are the most vulnerable ones. So if you have family and friends who are who stay who are during this whole pandemic, they have been aloof, try to connect to them. And this is what we need to use these digital platforms for, right? To reaching out and staying connected. But again, it is very, very important to limit how much time I'm going to spend on the digital platform. Yes, having a proper sleep of 7 to 8 hours is very important. Do not skip meals. Do not avoid taking coffee. Explore what are your hobbies. Follow the necessary sanitation protocols. I don't think I need to remind you again. COVID is not gone. We are, we are very, very in the pandemic, so we cannot take things lightly. And this is the time where we become careless and we get affected. So that is sanitation is again very, very necessary. You might think that it doesn't happen to young people, or young people are immune. Well, nobody is immune, but yes, you might have milder symptoms, but all those other people in the family, it is our responsibility to keep them safe as well, right? Okay, so at last, I would like to read out certain comics. So we have this comic which is known as Laugh and Learn with Dr. Parekh. Now I would like to read out certain, pages from the comic. Like here we talk about, okay, so this is this is a comic where we talk about how to study, smartly. Now this is a comic with about your exam and study skills. So we give a lot of these kind of tips, and which is in a comical way. So she's asking him that why are you painting your textbook green? So he says that I'm just highlighting. But highlighting should not be, marking everything, but just to mark the important things. Yes. So next slide, I would, keep it for you to read the next slide.
Okay, so one is what should you do at night if you feel sleepy and tired? And we have put on loud music and to keep mom. I can't read to keep.
Okay. Yeah.
This
So
is, yeah, put on a loud music to keep us awake. Take an energy drink, have coffee, watch a video maybe, and call a friend.
yes. But actually, what we need to do when we feel sleepy is to sleep, because just forcefully keeping yourself awake may not help. You can get up in the next morning and you can finish whatever is left, right? So this is just a gist of the comic. Now I would like to share a video with you. It is again the gist of whatever we have talked till now. Yes, okay, just give me a minute.
Okay, while ma'am is preparing the video for sharing, make sure you note down your questions, everyone, and write them in the chat so you can ask ma'am once the question and answer session begins.
Yes. Now, is it visible? The video? Is it coming? No.
No, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. It's starting.
Starting. Exams are stressful. So this is not coming here, is it? Yeah. So when I share the screen, it's not coming here, is it?
Ma'am, it's sharing.
Okay. Let me try
We
again.
can give it a minute, I guess. It's still loading.
Once again, I'll remind the audience that you can put your questions in the live chat, and we'll just convey them to ma'am, and she can answer your questions. We express our gratitude to all the guests, participants, and audience for joining the live webinar today. We are just waiting for ma'am to share her screen, and she will just show us a video that will overview all the points.
Hi. I guess you're having trouble in seeing it, is it?
Yes, ma'am, it's a black screen.
Uh-huh. So it is coming in my laptop, but somehow it is not coming. Okay, let's forget about it. Yes. So we can, you can go and check this out. I will just stop sharing. How it is available for some technical reason I was not able to put it here. You can go and check this out. In, so you can go and check this out. In the, okay. Okay. So I am done with the presentation. If you guys have any questions, you can ask me. And I think we have a lot of comments in the chat box. Now we can ask questions.
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, that was a very insightful presentation. We'll just give the questions we have and you can answer them. The first question on the screen is from a concerned student. We are badly missing school because the general atmosphere makes a lot of difference in the learning process. It stimulates learning, yet we are missing the exhaustive revision in the class that is done by the teacher. That simulation is still not there. How should we compensate for that so that we can prepare properly for the exams?
See, I think, like I always say that this is not our first thought or this is not our first thought, right? But we need to see that what can we do about this situation right now. And while doing so, we need to understand what is right. We can focus so much on the things which I cannot control here. And it is just like to, make it a lot difficult for me to uh, cope with this whole situation. So I need to learn to let go. Like I understand that you miss school, you want to see your teachers, and you want to have an interaction with them physically. But at this point of time, that is not possible. So what is the best possible way for me to get out here? Maybe to attend a physical I can reach to my teachers through these platforms. So these are the ways how we can maybe, compensate. And this is something which I can do something about. And the other thing I cannot do anything about it. So I need to learn to let go.
Yes, ma'am. A very good answer. Ria, why don't you take the next question?
Yes. So, ma'am, let me read the question for you. It seems it is from one of our students. She says, I quote, I study and prepare for the exam well, but I'm completely blanked out when I see the question paper. How should I deal with the question paper when I'm completely blank? Can you suggest a solution for the same, ma'am? I unquote. Ma'am, and I'm really sure that many more students would like to know the answer of the same.
Uh, this kind of brain blank or brain it can impact. So we need to know that if we are anxious, we need to know the pattern. That does it happen for one particular subject always? Does it happen, when I sit with one particular teacher? We need to know. So then we will be able to know that source of that anxiety. When we catch that, then maybe we will be able to deal with it. And how do we deal with it? Like any other, anxiety that we do. Okay, I'm getting a call from your teacher.
Audience, please keep your question and Please put it on the live chat. Ma'am will be back soon and she will be answering your question.
Okay, so your teacher said my voice is not clear. Are you able to hear me clearly?
Ma'am, in the middle, it was just little, the audio was low, but it's fine right now.
It's fine.
Yes,
All right.
ma'am.
Yes. So we were talking about when we
Ma'am, yes,
Um,
ma'am.
so we need to know the source of anxiety, and we need to know why it is happening. If I'm afraid of the teacher, if I'm afraid of the subject, and then we can deal with it. Like we can think that what is it I'm afraid of? Is it I'm afraid of failing? Is it that I'm afraid of getting a bad mark? And how actually important that is, then maybe we will be able to deal with it. But first, finding the source is key.
right, ma'am. I hope you are all satisfied with the question and the answer given by ma'am. And now, Krish, why don't you take the next question?
Sure, yeah. Ma'am, the next question we have is also from a student. Um, it says, as you all know, for online exams, we are supposed to type our answers rather than writing them down on paper. I'm very slow while typing and I'm unable to highlight the points or convey my point to the examiner. Whereas on paper, my handwriting is very good and I used to score well. Please suggest some ways so that I can improve this skill of mine and get better scores in online exams.
Well, this is a tricky one because it maybe is related to a lot of computer. It can happen because from maybe KG1 we are used to writing pen and paper, right? So that is not the case now. We have to write the answer. So when it not happen that as the concepts are same and you are trying to convey it to the same, just that medium have changed. So maybe a little bit of digital proficiency will help. Maybe you need to practice more typing. In that way, maybe it will take a lot lesser time, and you will be able to have enough time to express your concept.
Yes, ma'am. So practice more typing. You practice on your speed and uh, highlight the points, right? Make flowcharts and okay.
Okay, so ma'am, please allow me to ask the next question, which probably a lot of other students would like to ask, and I'm just probably being their representative. What will you suggest to overcome this? I quote, I get very nervous while sitting for the exam. In fact, I tremble in my seat. My confidence level also becomes very low, and this gets in my way for scoring good marks. How do you think I can overcome my problem to score better?
Hmm. Hmm. Well, I think here the person who has asked the question already knows what is the problem, right? It is because your stress, that anxiety, uh, overpowers at that point of time, and that hindrances in the process of giving marks, right? So, what happens is that you maybe can practice some sort of relaxation techniques on a regular basis. That is going to be helpful in overall relaxation. And if it is just performance-based anxiety, then again you have your counselors. You can take help of them, and you can ask them to teach you certain relaxation techniques which will help you. There are certain relaxation techniques which you can teach them, right? Which will help you to relax at particular. But there is no uh, temporary fix to this. Ultimately, do some relaxation exercises which we have to practice on a regular basis. We can uh, uh,
so much, ma'am. This answer probably brings a lot of students at ease. Krish, why don't you take the next question?
Ma'am, we have a question on the chat. It says, at time in online exam, my daughter gets tired and ultimately loses interest in giving the exam. So how should she cope with it? Okay, I'll repeat once more. Ma'am, this question is from a parent. They are saying that at time in online exam, the parent's daughter gets tired and ultimately loses the interest in giving the exam. So how should the student cope with the lose in interest and tiredness while giving the online exam?
So here again, I think digital proficiency is something where the problem is because we are not used to it. You can the parent to see that whether she is very much afraid whether she is going to do something wrong or I'm going to just touch some button and this is what I'm going to do. So again, finding the source why this online platform is more difficult for her. If it happens even during the previous way of taking exam, if it used to happen during that as well, then maybe she has a performance anxiety which she can deal with along with the school counselor. She can talk to her and she can talk to her teacher and she can deal with it. But if it is just online exam, well, that happens that looking at the computer screen for a very long time can be very tiring, and that happens to a lot of us. But if it becomes extremely tiring, then maybe it is the proximity of some fear that she might have. So finding that out and talking to her counselor and her teacher, I would say that that would be a very
Okay, ma'am. Ma'am, I have one last question, and this is personally from myself also. How should we group study, right? The concept of group study is that you meet with your friends and then you study the same topics. So is that better because you have the opinion of others how to study? Also, it helps in concentration, or is it better to study alone?
no, no, no. Group study always helps. Okay, because even just not in school, even when you are in college, when you are doing your higher education, you will have all these things for you, and it is not just for academics. In academics, definitely you are going to learn a lot, and we need to get rid of petty fears that what I know the other person will also get to know about that, and he will score better marks. These are petty things. We cannot just hold on to that. We need to look at the bigger picture. All of us will be sharing that knowledge, and it is much better, much easier to learn that way, right? So we need to we need to know that, and this is going to develop a lot of other skills, and which are very very important other than academic. Your leadership, your team, your team effort, and how you communicate, your communication skills. A lot of skills are going to develop when we do study, but you should study. It should not be another fun thing.
Okay, ma'am. So find a balance. Ultimately, you have to find a balance, right? Revise and study with your friends. Okay. Thank you, ma'am. Ma'am, I think we can wrap up the question answer session.
Sure.
Yes, this indeed was an extremely informative and interesting session, I must say. Thank you, ma'am, for practical tips and that you have shared with us, like self-test, taking breaks, or cancellation exercises and things. And we should be carefully preparing for examinations. We'll all keep that in mind.
Thank you, ma'am, once again for gracing your virtual presence and sharing such valuable information with all of us. We truly gained an experience that will last with us. May I now request Dr. Upma Arora, our beloved principal, to propose a vote of thanks.
It's been a wonderful session, and we really thank Anuna ma'am and hope and we thank digital time, digital era. So we got such beautiful experience of getting you on screen and getting in touch. Had it been normal time, we would not have called you. But yes, thanks to digital era and. You have well said that right use of technology should be there to crack these exams. Another thing I really appreciate for Dr. Sami Parikh, there should be smart way of handling this. Smart way, by this smart way, we need to answer our questions. We need to overcome all these problems what our students and our parents fraternity had. So these questions were very relevant, and you very nicely and answered them. And we really thank you. JBM really thanks you for sharing all your experience, and our children will really get benefit out of it. Thank you very much, Anuna.
Thank
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am. We hope, thank you all of you for joining us and for your time. We hope you all stay safe.
My appreciation to Ria and Krish. God bless you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you so much, ma'am.
Friends, don't forget to follow the tips ma'am has shared with us. This will go a long way to help us when we are preparing for examinations. I'm sure you have noted all these points down. This is going to be really helpful for us as well. We have our exams in the upcoming week, and this will really help us. And last of all, we would like to thank ma'am once more for taking out time for this interactive session with us. Thank you, ma'am.